So we have to first understand what is our rich heritage, what is our rich culture, what is our rich epics that we have, how best they are, how great they are. Do you know the people even today they research on Mahabharata and Ramayana? They come out with some kind of innovation every day. All the world over, especially in Germany and several other countries, रामायण के ऊपर रिसर्च हो रहा है and then Mahabharata. I would like to just remind one incident before I plunge into my subject matter. Have you heard of Guru Charan Das? एक महारचयिता है, is a very good writer. I like him. He wrote one book called India Unbundled after privatization and globalization and liberalization of this country. He wrote one book called India Unbundled. In that book, he wrote how India can progress with liberalism, with freedom, and how economically we can achieve. He was quoting Infosys success, he was quoting success of Satyam Computers and other various industries that we have seen in those late 90s. Then what happened? Satyam scam has come out. Do you remember Satyam scam? There is a huge scandal of 8,500 crore rupees worth scam. And who exposed it? Satyam himself exposed it. Raju himself exposed it. Then he was shocked. Guru Charan Das was shocked. What must have happened to this country? Why people are committing such a worst kind of scams in this country? What is happening to this country? He wanted to know the roots of this attitude. He wants to go to roots of this attitude. Do you know where he went to? He resigned the job. He was working in Procter and Gamble. He resigned that job. He straight away went to Chicago and went on searching for original script of Mahabharata. Original script of Mahabharata, when I say, I would like to explain it. Before it was interpolated or inserted with some other various kinds of activities, he wanted to have original story the Vyasa has written. It is very difficult to find original story of Vyasa. Even in our country, it is difficult to find them. There are two kinds of editions. एक southern edition है, दक्षिणार्थी का edition, और एक उत्तरादि का edition है. There are some differences between these two editions, and Bhandarkar Institute of Pune has reconciled it, and they developed a text. That's a different thing. I don't know whether anybody of you must have read it or not. But first Talapatra Granth, which was transliterated into a printed book, is available in Chicago Library. They took it away from our place and they kept it in Chicago Library. He wanted to go there. He went there and he read original text. Do you know what he says? The reason for scams in this country is greed, and the person who is personified greed is Dhritarashtra. He discovered Dhritarashtra is the real villain of Mahabharata, and because of Dhritarashtra, Duryodhan became such a personality who is cause of the entire devastation that ended in Mahabharata war. Then he wrote several books, and he came back and wrote a wonderful book in India, that is Difficulty of Being Good. I don't know whether you have seen it. If not, please read it. That's my recommendation. The Difficulty of Being Good by Guru Charan Das. It ran several editions. It is a most successful best-selling book, and he explains how it is difficult to be good in this country, in this world, and how is that they lived in those difficulties. That was the story I thought I should remind you. The point to be noted in this entire episode is we should search for original text. Wherever you go, original text का ढूंढना पड़ेगा, अन्वेषण करना, रिसर्च करना, शोधन करना और साधन करना and हासिल करना. Then only you can understand what exactly Vyasa has written. And do you know, I would like to tell you one more thing. Vyasa and Valmiki did not write Ramayana and Mahabharata. Did not write. You must have been surprised what I am telling. They did not write because there was no instrument of writing. There was no paper. There was no leaf to write. The Talpatra Granth has come at a later stage. In the initial stage, there was not even Talpatra Granth. Do you know how we used to retain our Puranas? By Shruti and Smriti. श्रुति का मतलब जानते हैं, हम सुनते हैं. पहले गुरुजी सुनाते हैं हम लोगों को, शिष्य है हम, सुन के हम सीखते हैं, सुन के श्रुति से सीखते हैं और स्मृति में रखते हैं. स्मृति में रख के अपने शिष्यों को बताते हैं. ये इसको क्या बोलते हैं हम हिंदी में, अनुश्रुत बोलते हैं, अनुश्रुत. दिस इज a parampara. This is a parampara, and it will pass on from one generation to the another generation through Gurukul process, where I read out of Smriti, you retain it by Shruti, and then you pass it on to next generation. Imagine the original Mahabharata and original Ramayana written by Valmiki. And do you know who are the first disciples of Ramayana? Who are the first persons who recited it? Love and Kush. They are the persons who heard the story of their father, and they are the persons who recited it next to Valmiki. And they come, and that's all a big story, and I will not go into it. Most of you must be knowing it. Now the question is, do we know these stories, Mahabharata and Ramayana? You think that you know it. The reason is, you know the storyline. So knowing storyline is not knowing the story. Knowing the storyline is knowing the storyline only. Then what is that we have to learn? There is one statement in one saying in English: God lives in details. God lives in details. Where are those details? How do you search for those details? How do you understand, read those details? This is what is very important for us to know. So unless we go into the details of the story, details of the incidents, it is difficult for us to understand nuances of Ramayana. Then I would like to raise 3 or 4 points of Ramayana and then 3 or 4 points of Mahabharata, just to introduce you to understanding of these great epics and their relevance today. One thing everybody know that their universal values are propagated by these two epics. Universal values: Sarvajanin or Sarvakalik. Sarvakalik means for all generations to come. Sarvajanin means for every person to understand. Everywhere, American, European, Australian, African, no difference. You are a human being. You are a living being. You must understand it. So that is the importance of these two great epics. Now, Sita is one of the greatest personality of Ramayana. Do you know what is original name of Ramayana? It is not Ramayana. It is Sita Charitam. Valmiki wanted it to be called Sita Charitam because he wanted to project Sita as the principal personality of the Ramayana, and it is correct. And there is another name to Ramayana that is called Paulasya Vadha. That means the story of Ravana, the end of Ravana. Ravana Vadha or Paulasya Vadha, or it is Sita Charitam. But because of the popularity of Ramayana, Ramayana became the name of the Valmiki's Granth. Now, Sita, you know what is the greatness of Sita? She is not born out of womb. She is not born out of womb. And she passed through the test of Agni Pariksha. Why it is done, you all know that story. I do not want to repeat that. Then the question is, such a wonderful personality, how is that she was abandoned on suspicion by Rama to forest? A person who is not born out of womb, a person who walked through the fire to prove her sanctity or divinity or purity was established, then why should she go to forest? And this is the question all of us should ask, and it is the most controversial aspect of Ramayana, and it is most criticized part of Ramayana. And some of the people believe that Uttara Ramayana doesn't exist. The Ramayana ended with Ram's crowning ceremony, that is Pattabhishek. पट्टाभिषेक और क्या बोलते हैं आप, राज्याभिषेक से ख़त्म हुआ रामायण, इसके बाद कुछ नहीं है बोलते लोग. And even the various writers say that Uttara Ramayana, that Uttara Ramayana means it is not North Ramayana. Uttara here does not mean North. Uttar means next. Purva, Apurva, Baad ki baat. Next to the main canto is called Uttarakand. And that Uttarakand, which comes after the Yuddha Kanda, is believed to be a interpolation, not original story, but I don't go into that aspect at all. But one major controversy of Ramayana is how is that Rama did not adhere to his principles of righteousness, Maryada Purushottam. How is that Maryada Purushottam Rama abandoned Sita? This is the question to be asked. Now, whom to blame? Now, if you ask me, I blame people of Ayodhya. People of Ayodhya are at fault. Not just one Dobhi. It is only Dobhi is a symbolic representative of the entire people. And even the Ramayana explains that not only Dobhi, but there are several other people at different parts of the country talking about the aspect of Rama accepting Sita, even though she lived 1 year, 1 year all alone in the building of, or in the garden of villain Ravan for 1 year. Now, anybody whose wife lived in somebody's house for 1 year, will you take back? Will you believe her to be a pure personality? This is a question raised based on materialistic outlook and simple understanding of local material circumstances, and based on your own thinking. We think at our own level, na? We don't think at the higher level of the personalities whom we are talking about. We simply blame. And that's what is happening today also. You see the Facebook, see the WhatsApp, what we say? We say whatever that comes to our mind. We don't bother, we don't think about, we are not responsible. We simply hurl comments, we abuse, we condemn, we criticize, we throw them out. And what they said? Sita is not pure. And who are they to say that Sita is not pure? And how is that anybody can establish that Sita is pure? The only two persons who saw Ram and Lakshman, and you are not ready to believe them because one is king, the other is prince. You don't want to believe them. What will happen to the truth? So nobody is bothered about truth. So they wanted Rama to abandon her or Rama to leave. Then he consulted his brothers and others, and he said, I wanted to leave Simhasan. Sita ke liye main Simhasan chhodta hu. That was his pronouncement, and it was not accepted. ट्रुथ के लिए सिंहासन छोड़ा, सत्य के लिए सिंहासन छोड़ने वाला राम सीता के लिए सिंहासन छोड़ सकते हैं ना? He is not fond of his royal privileges. He wanted to abandon it, but nobody allowed him. And everybody asked him to remain on the seat. So it was inevitable for him to remain a king. He should be above suspicion, and he has to follow the opinion of the people, and for that reason he abandoned. It is no justification. I am not justifying it. I don't agree with Ram. There is an individuality, there is a personality. Truth has to prevail. Satyameva jayate is the slogan of this country. Satya kahan jay hoga? Satya ka jaykar kab hua? When you know that Sita is pure and you are truthful enough and you never lied, I know, but you wanted to abandon Sita to forest. What kind of a justice it is? So that's what he says. Rajadharma says, go according to the opinion of the people. Vyakti Dharma says, don't abandon Sita. In a dilemma of these two, he decided the way he was done, and it is matter of history, and what is it I can say about it. So my point is, one should not make loose comments about the great personalities, and that causes such consequences. It is the universal value that we have to learn even today. If you ask me what is the relevance of Ramayana, I say this is the relevance of Ramayana. Don't make loose comments. Don't suspect truths. Don't come to a conclusion that something is wrong without understanding the reality. This is the lesson I thought one should learn about Maryada Purushottam. And then I want to say, we have to understand how things take a turn. Mandhara and Kaikeyi. In my view, if you ask me who are the greatest characters of Ramayana, I say Mandhara and Kaikeyi. How is that they are great? It's very interesting. They turn the entire story. It's a turning point in the Ramayana. Unless you do all this, it is not possible for Rama to divert from Rajabhishek to Vanvas. And unless he goes to Vanvas, it is not possible to destroy the demons. Unless he goes to Vanvas, it is not possible to touch upon Ravan and finish them off and cleanse the entire forest area of this country. That was not possible. So who is the person who played a very critical role in changing the entire storyline? It is Mandhara, first of all. Mandhara was also loving Rama. She was not enemy to Rama. Kaikeyi was most loving, and she also was not a. Then what must have changed? What must have been the reason for change? Do you know what is the reason for the change? Can anybody tell me? It is mental change. Change of mind, change of thought. Unless you change your thought for a reasonable purpose, for a practical purpose, for a real purpose, it will end in disaster. And that is another lesson that we have to learn from Mandhara and Kaikeyi. Unthoughtful, but of course, it is ultimately for the good of the gods. Gods, the story goes, the story behind goes that all gods were representing Brahma, that this Rama is getting Rajabhishek, and if he is happy with his kingdom, and what will happen to us? What will happen to our woes and difficulties? Then Saraswati enters into the thinking process of Mandhara, and she converts her modus of thinking process, and she converts Kaikeyi. Kaikeyi converts the mind of Dasharath, and Dasharath converts Dasharath's plight converts the mind of Rama. And because Rama is going, Lakshman follows. And Lakshman, because Rama is the husband and she is Chayevanugata Sita. Sita is Chayevanugata. That means she follows Rama like a shadow. That's what is stated in Sita Rama Kalyana, and you must have performed it. When what is that they say? Idam Sita Mamasuta Chayevanugata Tava. She will follow you like a shadow. So that is her dharma. So she followed. Unless Sita follows, things do not happen. Unless Lakshman is along with Rama, things do not fall in line. So three of them have to go to forest. That is the destiny. They go, and you know what happened. Then let me talk about, so what is the universal truth here? We have to understand. Change of mind is the reason for change of story. Whether it is individual, whether it is Puranic, whether it is your life. Gandhi says, if you want to change, what is it you have to do? You have to change. That's what he says. Your thinking has to change. If your thinking changes, everything changes. That's what is the second universal principle of Mandhara and Kaikeyi. And third, I want to tell you is Bharat. Bharat is one of the greatest characters of Ramayana. Do you know he is born out of Sudarshan Chakra. Sudarshan Chakra का मतलब होता है knowledge, fantastic knowledge. He is a very, very knowledgeable person. Now, you see, Ram went to exile because he wanted to follow the word of his father. पितृवाक परिपालन. पितृवाक परिपालन कितना बड़ा व्रत है, इतना बड़ा व्रत है, वो ये भी पालन कर सकते हैं ना. Even Bharat should have done it, being a younger brother of Ram. And what is that Pitruvak Paripalan for him? He has to take up the kingdom happily. 14 years rule. Why 14 years, sir? Why Kaikeyi wanted Rama to be in exile for 14 years? Because the law of limitation during Treta Yuga is 14 years. That means if you abandon your immovable property, you will lose right to make a claim over that immovable property. Kingdom is immovable property. And that is why Kaikeyi did not put 13 years, did not put 15 years. She wanted enough, 14 years. Chalo, jane do. He cannot come back and claim. And another idea is, meanwhile, this Bharat will establish his contact with the people and he will be consolidated in his kingdom. That was the idea. Okay. Then 14 years, if he doesn't come back, what will happen is the question. 14 years he goes exile. He knows that. Bharat knows that. Then why did he not take it? Ready-made. Nobody can find fault with him. Even Vasishtha did not find fault with him. No, go and take it up. It is your father's wish. You have to take up the kingdom. He doesn't. And he knows perhaps what exactly the entire activity is meant for. He goes to Rama and comes back, and all that is, I need not again tell you. What is preferable is the righteousness steadfast. So the third universal value that is established is, even if there is a kingdom that is ready for you to take it up, think of dharam, think of righteousness, think of principles, think of values and follow them. Then fourth, one of the most important point, the fourth point of Ramayana is, again, let me come back to the personality, Maryada Purushottam Ram. We have to talk about him. After killing Ravan, I am not going to narrate entire story of Ramayana. Ravan is killed. You know how he is killed. I don't want to repeat it here. All of you know. Then when Ravan was killed, it's one of the greatest things that happened on the earth. All the devatas descend. They come and meet Ram. They greet him. You have done a fantastic job. Fantastic. And then after some exchange of pleasantries, Indra says, your father also has come. My father, Dasharath, he loves his father. Dasharath has come. Then I have to meet him. But he cannot come down because he is not a devata. He is there along with us He is there in heaven. We brought him so that he can talk to you. So these persons, Ram and Lakshman, go to Dasharath, and Dasharath was very much pleased at the victorious success of Rama, naturally. And then after some talk, very, very interesting talk, I suggest you to go through that in Valmiki Ramayana. You will find it very interesting. Then at the end he says, I am very much pleased, Rama. I will give you 2 boons. Take 2 boons. Whatever boon you want, take it. Do you know what Rama asks? That is the character of Rama. Rama asks, Dad, Father, you know how I came to, why I came to Vanvas, you know. Why I was in exile for 14 years, now you know. And this is the reason why Kaikeyi sent me. This is the reason why Mandhara changed the mind of Kaikeyi. Now you tell me, is it right to abandon Kaikeyi? Is it right to abandon Bharat? It is not. So my first boon I am seeking from you is, please, वो परित्याग को रद्द कीजिए. Cancel the renunciation of Kaikeyi as your wife. Granted. Then what is second? Cancel the renunciation of Bharat as your son. That was also done. You imagine, have you ever imagined that Ram would have asked for such boons from Dasharath? And when I read it first time, I was crying. What a kind of personality. Can you find such a personality anywhere in the world? Now what is that we have to understand? What is that we have to understand? We have to understand that never forget the people who suffered for you, who have caused a turning point in your life, and think about them. At initial stages you think that they are doing harm to you. Now you see, if you study entire Ramayana, he will never utter a word against Kaikeyi. He will never utter a harsh word against Mandhara. Others think different manner, others say something, but he will never do that. So that is the greatness of Rama, and that's what we should not jump into conclusions to say some. So these are the values which are universal, which are forever, universal for all times to come. Sarvajanin and Sarvakalik. Then let me go to, I know I have taken a lot of time. Shall I continue for some time?
Very much. Yeah, please continue. We are very aptly listening you.
Yeah.
सबको मजा आ रहा है.
So, yeah, then I have to talk 4 points of Mahabharata. In fact, Subhash ji ne, he has broken the suspense. He has given you some hint, Perhaps he has generated some curiosity among you. How is that I defended Yudhishthira? No.
We'll keep, sorry, Madhusudan ji, we will keep 5-10 minutes question answer session also after your talk.
Yeah.
You can take your 15-20 minutes as you want, and then we'll keep the question answer session.
Done. We'll do that. So I'll quickly touch upon the points of Mahabharata. Mahabharata, Yudhishthira is the elder brother and he is the king. Now question is, when Bhim and Arjun, Nakul, Sahadev, they are great heroes in their own fields. When they are 4 heroes, what is the quality of Yudhishthira? Why should he lead? Maybe we never thought about it. And on the other hand, there are bad qualities. He is a dice game lover. That is, gambler. He's a gambler. Do you make a gambler a king? And you don't consider Bhim one of the greatest heroes of the Mahabharata. And don't consider Arjun, greatest friend of Krishna, Lord Krishna. You don't consider them. What is this? The answer is, see, nothing happens in a fluke manner. Though he is not a hero like Bhim and hero like Arjun, he is the righteous personality. He has lied only once. You know where? Drona. When Drona Parva is going on, he is killing everybody. He is using Brahmastra now and then. Brahmastra is nothing but a Hiroshima, Nagasaki atom bomb. You can't go on hurling it. And you are doing it. And Krishna, Krishna uses various kinds of weapons in his war. And one weapon is untruth. Untruth statement. Untruth statement is a weapon to finish off a person who is not finishable otherwise. तो आप हारते ही नहीं में क्या करना? तो you are invincible है. What to do? Then I have to use your पुत्र मोह का मैं लाभ उठाता हूँ. पुत्र मोह है तुम्हारा. Why should you abandon your weapon if your son is dead? You can fight, na? You can kill the person who killed your son. Why are you dropping your arrows and bows? Why? That is your weakness, and I'll strike at your weakness. And what is my strength? I'll tell that Ashwadhama was killed, and you are going to fall. I'll kill you also. And that is a shastra, weapon hai. Weapon was used by Krishna, and for that we blame him as if we are such a Harishchandra, as if हम कोई झूठ ही नहीं बोलते जिंदगी में. हर दिन में कितने झूठ बोलते पता ही नहीं है, काउंट ही नहीं है इसका. Then what is that you are accusing Dharmaraj को? Accuse करने का कोई हक है क्या हम लोगों को? No. Then because he did not lie all through his life, one lie acted as a weapon, and it was made Drone to believe it, and Drone's end point came because of that. And that is the greatness of Yudhishthira. And coming to the Subhashji's point, yes, why did he play the dice game, and why did Krishna not come to his rescue, whereas he came to rescue of Draupadi? द्रौपदी वस्त्रहरण समय में इनको चीर दिया, बहुत सारे वस्त्र दिया. But why did he not stop Yudhishthira? It's a very big question. Do you know who asked this question in Mahabharata? Uddhav asked this question to Krishna. Krishna, you should have avoided it. Why did you not do that? He said, do you know what was Krishna's answer? Krishna says, धर्मराज युधिष्ठिर ने बोला मुझसे, आप उस तरफ ही नहीं आना. I am going to play the game, dice game. उस तरफ आप आना ही नहीं बस. Please leave me alone. I will play the game in my own way. I will suffer whatever is the consequence. Please don't come to and stop it. Why should I go when you don't want me to come? Why should I go? Then one person called me, that is Draupadi. I went there and I gave what all help I had to do. I did it. Then why the Yudhishthira has done this? That is the question. Then Yudhishthira says, Yudhishthira was questioned on this during his exile by Draupadi. What is the nonsense that you have done? Do you know what is his answer? He says, after Rajasuya is completed, Vyas Bhagavan comes to greet the Yudhishthira, and he says, he asks, look at the question of Yudhishthira. He says, now Vyas Bhagavan, अब ठीक रहेगा क्या? हमारे दोनों फैमिलीज में पीस रहेगा क्या? शांति बना रखेगा क्या? रहेगा क्या? Then no, he doubts. Vyasji doubts. Then he gets apprehensive. What is going to happen? You are going to be the cause of destruction. Who? Yudhishthira is the cause of destruction. Because of you, all the kingdoms will be fighting against each other and they die. Then he says, oh, if that is the case, what is it I am supposed to do? You try your best to avoid it, postpone it, but I am not sure whether it is totally avoided. That is the point. And then Narad comes, Devarshi Narad. He gets confirmed the same statement with Devarshi Narad. And then, according to the principles, when you are invited to play dice game, it is equivalent to invitation to war. War without destruction. So should I go and engage in war with destruction, or should I go and accept war without destruction? That was the question before him, and he says, I'll prefer it. He goes, he plays, and you know what happened. Then coming to Draupadi, all say that Draupadi is the cause of Mahabharat war. Draupadi laughed at Duryodhan. Andha ka beta andha hota hai. But let me tell you, sir, Vyas Mahabharat में कहीं पे भी ऐसा नहीं है कि द्रौपदी हंसी है दुर्योधन के ऊपर और she made these comments. It's all untruth, interpolation, cinematic, dramatic introduction, not a reality. So go by original Mahabharat and understand it is not Draupadi that is the cause of destruction. It is Shakuni. Shakuni is the cause of destruction. And the value that you have to understand is from Mahabharata is that if you insult a woman in a full court, like Draupadi being insulted by Dushasan, that is the cause of war. That is the cause of destruction. When you can't respect your own people, your own mother, your own sister, your own sister-in-law, your own wife, what kind of a person you are? What kind of a maryada it is? What kind of a sabhyata it is? That is the reason why the war took place. Then Krishna did not prevent why Krishna did not prevent Vastraharan and all that, because he was trying to stop by all means the destruction sincerely, but nobody believed it. But ultimately it has to happen, and that's the reason why he went by the advice of the Yudhishthir, but he could not stop it. Then, so these are the points that we have to understand from Mahabharata. I think I have already taken the time allotted to me. There's one thing I would like to tell you. Dharma is the principle, and values are the things to be pursued, and that's what Yudhishthira says. The Draupadi asks, "What is that you got? Because you have spoken truth, because you adhere to dharma. What happened to you? You are living in forest, and look at that adharmi. Duryodhana is enjoying the kingdom." Do you know what is the answer of Yudhishthira? See, I'm doing dharma for sake of dharma. I'm not doing dharma for sake of benefits out of it. If I do that, I will become a व्यापारी. I am धर्म का व्यापारी नहीं हूँ, मैं धर्म पालन करने वाला हूँ. So I will not accept the benefits and difficulties arising out of my actions. So these are the universal values suggested by these two Puranas. There are so many things to discuss with you, but I know the time is the constraint. I stop here and I open up your questions. Open up myself for your questions, if you have any.
Whoever wants to ask questions, please you can raise your finger, or you can type, or you can chat. Please let me know if somebody is interested to ask the question.